But there's beautiful. But there's one now I remember. He goes, "We are the dead. Once we lived, felt dawn on our face, but now we lie in Flanders fields." Be honest, if you'd have had a gun in your hand instead of a pen,
Yeah.
you might be alive
You
today.
would be dead, yeah,
and the war
yeah.
would have been over by Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
losers.
politics, Carl.
Any other questions, Carl, you want
and,
solved? Any high
economics? I've done economics.
Because, yes,
war.
the economical.
Anything else?
I just think you should look after yourself. You know what I mean?
Carl, I've just got something to say to you. Hip hop, hooray!
Hey.
Let's play my hip hop track.
Whoa. Hey.
Put your hands in the air.
Yay.
Move them round like you just don't care.
Yeah, you're not even bothered.
I'm playing an old school track this week, Rick. I'm going
Excellent.
back in time, rewinding the
How
clock.
are you spelling school, Steve?
Oh, with a K.
Go on.
Ever heard of anything by Digital Underground? The Humpty Dance, you might
The
remember.
Humpty Dance.
Do you remember that?
That was a fellow sat on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was getting dissed by
Yeah.
the police, and he fell. And he broke all up, and the king's horses shouldn't have really been sent to repair an egg. They couldn't do it because of their hooves.
Anyway, Digital Underground, for those that don't remember, was an Oakland group led by Shock G and Chop Master J.
Go on.
But of course, most famous now for the fact that they featured Tupac Shakur.
Love him.
Where he first began. You'll hear him on this track. It's called, which one have I chosen here? I think it's called The Same Song. Have a listen. scared of the youth. He's scared of the fact that I'm down with it, the homies and the bitches and the hoes.
Yeah.
Because he's not with that, you know? He looks dapper. If they saw him in the street walking down like a ponce, they'd just laugh and jeer, but probably rhythmically.
Yeah.
You know, and he couldn't come back at anything.
And you'd be high-fiving and everything.
Oh, they'd be loving
you.
me.
I think he was intimidated by your style. I think he's jealous of you, to be honest.
Do you know, I think what he's probably most jealous of is the looks.
Yeah, I think
Do you know what I mean? I got the new haircut because we might be on the telly later.
He didn't mention that, did he?
Did he? Well, he's never seen the old one. You've kept him from me. He's got nothing to compare it with.
But that was a great hip-hop selection there.
Yeah, lovely.
Even though I say so yourself.
Rick, we've had a couple of people, because they've listened to your dissection of current politics and economicals.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of questions for you.
Go on.
We've had one from Jimmy Ruffin. He says, what becomes of the broken-hearted?
Oh dear. That is a difficult one. I don't think I've got time to go into it because it's a very delicate problem.
Can you answer this one from the KLF? What time is love? Any ideas? Listen, keep those questions coming in for Ricky Gervais. Maybe I'll to sort them out later. Have we got a song to play, Carl? Let's whack it on. Still to come, the song for the day.
It's not the end of the world. Super furry animals.
Absolutely beautiful.
XFM 104.9.
Rick, you going to do your film review for us? We've got time for it, I think.
I'm not, no.
Why not?
I'm not going to do it anymore.
You're not going to do it anymore?
No.
You love it, don't you?
No, it's great, and I just think it's time. You know, I did a dozen, but I did all the films that I would give like 9 or 10 out of 10 for. I don't want to drop the standards.
Right.
I don't want to start doing films that are 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of film reviews go wrong.
Yeah, Ross being one of them.
Yeah, I've seen them go, oh, this is worth 7. Don't do it then.
Yeah.
If it's no good, don't do it.
Know it yourself.
No.
Sure.
So
no more film reviews?
No.
Oh.
Until a great film comes out.
Sure, okay.
Like Braveheart 2 or something. Yeah. Which would be 9 now.
Quite an eventful, I'd have thought.
Yeah. So 9 for that. In
well,
advance.
Rick, it's almost the end of the show, and still got time for the song for the ladies.
I can't wait.
Carl won't be here next week.
Well, where's going?
Where are you heading, Carl? Going away for Christmas? Tell us.
What? It's a secret. What you want?
Well, in case your fans try and track you down.
What? Are you going taking pictures of planes in Greece? What?
Political?
Rob your house.
Satirical, Steve. Satirical.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
I tell you what, if I was caught in a foreign country and the government got said no, it's okay, they were train spotting or plane spotting, I go no, I am a spy.
Exactly.
No, I am a spy. No, it's all right. You were train spotting. I wasn't spying. Please.
I saw you at the Doctor Who convention as well.
No, probably an assassin or something. I think. Yeah. I'm probably an assassin.
Carl, where are you going, mate? Tell us. Come on, we haven't got time
to say when. What's it here?
What?
People rob your house if...
Yeah, we didn't say tell us your address, tell us where you leave the key, and then tell us you're going on holiday. We said where you going on holiday.
Barbados.
Are you?
Ooh, showing off. Yeah. Boasting.
I'll tell you what, Steve, what I'd like to see, and a lot of the listeners right there too, pop round there now, touch him for Christmas.
Shall I touch him for Christmas?
Touch him any way you like for Christmas.
Can I just introduce the song for the ladies before?
Well, love him for Christmas, though.
Can I just say
yes,
what
but
the song
as long as you love and touch him.
We're going to leave you with the excellent Tim Buckley, of course, father of Jeff.
I'm just going to be watching, but love him.
That was
look at his little face.
Also on that CD that my friend Dave sent me earlier, so if you don't like it, blame him. While he's been arrested by the copyright police. And it's called Buzzin' Fly. Let me touch you, Carl.
Don't, Steve.
Go on.
A man for Christmas.
I'm not going
Kissing a man.
Licking
a man for Christmas.
Look
I'm in touch with your feminine side of town. I can...
Fortune Faded by Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, we've had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Carl, you concentrating?
A lot of tears, mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into talking about maybe some of the high jinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Carl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, no, alright. A lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Carl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Carl off air. Save it all from when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what did she do? What did she do except be in a cupboard? What did she have to write about? And I said, well, her thoughts. Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
that I know stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
She was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But what do you how do you think we know? We know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
But isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Carl, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we are in a deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally. She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish.
In a cupboard. Cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
Until she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did she get caught? No,
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it.
Her diaries are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at
I don't know anything about her, and we might be going down some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries. Do you know, what do you do them for? Have you kept one, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no.
Right.
I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
no one's going to find a diary and go, oh, God.
I can't believe it. Carl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Can't think I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though, diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that. Do you know what I mean?
It's fantastic! The iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah.
New from Sony, that'd be great, wouldn't it? All the greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
well,
dear.
Leave that then. I didn't know it was that deep. I thought it was just like a, you know...
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing? Thorns, from my favourite album of last year, that. And, I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've, got a couple of requests. In fact, yeah, got one of them, celebrity requests, Matt Lucas from, Little Britain, is listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's your last show? I said, yeah. I said, do you want me to play a record? Yes, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now remember, him and David are the new darlings of comedy. Yeah. They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain. They're comedy geniuses, they're only going to get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Carl, have a guess.
Well, it's going to be something weird, isn't it, if you're saying this?
Well.
So, how old's the band?
They're probably about as old as him.
How old is he?
No. Oh, Carl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, why did you say ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's The Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I know he's listening, but, you know...
there's nothing wrong with The Proclaimers, I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you, because you hang out with him, don't you?
I do hang out with him.
He thinks he's it's like the closest thing he can. He knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day, isn't he?
Believe it.
Yeah. So I was honest. I said I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another.
Where did they come? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I give a little but in 2-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the main
they were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had
sort of 3 big hits in sort of like 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
Yeah, 80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
When you've run out of Crankies stuff, I suppose.
I guess so, yeah.
If you've played all your Crankies records, there's
and the Muppets album.
Yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Carl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary. Yeah. It's not like a children's book. It's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
No.
She doesn't go into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got on with her, but she thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, if I just briefly mention Hubbard. Now, Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get the dog a bone.
But when she got there, the cupboard was bare. The poor dog had none.
Is there more to that than because that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on an adventure?
What, you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
That's all of it.
I think so. When they went to the cupboard to get a bottle of bone, when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that.
What's the moral?
Well, if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's lost her...
It's short, isn't it?
It is short.
It's over, isn't it? That's amazing.
But I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food
she
in.
She
doesn't really know what's going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again later.
That's a story about illicit lovers.
That was apparently based on that. And obviously Ring a Roses. It dates back to plague times, so I don't know about Hubbard. Humpty Dumpty, not so sure about this. This is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know.
Because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
it's not,
the Eggman's on the wall.
I don't know. My concern is more... his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are the Dumpties of, say, Surrey, don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what it... I'm just saying, I'm trying to go, is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it like
nursery
an Edward Lear thing, or... That's before that, is it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits, all the king's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
Enough. Exactly. They're going to make it worse.
They're just going to be standing on it.
They are going to make it worse.
It's not great.
Just standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll or... If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate. Go, illustrate Humpty Dumpty. He goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah.
I suppose because the moral of that is if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, get down from the wall, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there'll be no medical...
way to happen.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I don't know, Carl, what was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
You're joking.
You surprised me.
You're joking.
What's the one with loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one in the bed and the little one said roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? But
hold on though, I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one, little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said roll over.
Now where is the little one in the bed?
I don't know, but worse than that, what has he got over the other 9?
That he can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just lying on the floor.
We're here now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How does that end as well? Where's that going?
It goes on, there was one in the bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself to roll over, there was one in the bed and there was a roll over. So he rolled over, and one fell out, that's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed, and the little one said roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Carl. we got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on,
very briefly, Carl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right? He's the king, he goes, who's gonna make me some new clothes? Various people come to me, says, I don't know that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on, the king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, you know, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching, he goes, look at it, can you see it? No, they ask say, only a genius can see how good this suit is. And the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. It's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's, you know, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and two veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything.
The king is in the Altogether. Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? Or was...
Okay, play record.
Play a record, Carl.
Play record.
Carl, just play a song.
Jesus. Travis, writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
A couple of emails here, try and respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Carl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustration that accompanied
I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, who was older than me, and I was about 5, so he was about 16. I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. I've since found out that knob is like the old English for head, but I didn't know why they were laughing.
Of course.
They were just cracking up. This was, whenever one of my mates' brothers came around, he said, where's your nursery rhyme book? And he'd read it to him. Yeah. And it was just the funniest thing in the world.
The brown paper and vinegar was a popular method, because didn't Jack and Jill use that? They used something similar.
No, that was Jack and Jill.
That was Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's Jack when he broke his crown, which obviously, that means his head as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So he's fractured his skull on a sort of like an outcrop of rock. Yeah. And then,
is that still used, the brown paper and vinegar?
I don't think it is.
I don't know, maybe in Manchester they're still using that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Tracy and John Burton say that they reckon Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon that used to sit on the walls of the castle in Colchester, where they lived.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
Sat on a wall, great for all the kings couldn't put hands together again. So, he had they broke the cannon, or it meant it exploded.
Maybe the cannon fell apart.
Because people used to get blown up by cannons just doing it wrong, didn't they?
Sure.
Which is hoist by your own petard.
Right.
Where that comes from.
Right.
Coming back and blowing up in your face.
So that makes slightly more sense, because you would want to send for the King's Men then.
Yeah, and the horses.
I think the horses just came along anyway.
That was quicker.
Sure.
The quick King's Men, it took them about 3 minutes, with the horses there in about a minute. So, but I mean, if it blew up, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So we got to the bottom of that. See, the educational, Carl. See, this is real education. You know what I mean?
It's got a bit heavy though, doesn't it?
What, Humpty Dumpty? Yeah, it has got a little bit heavy. Let's dumb it down a little bit. What do you want to do? Mary quite contrary?
We're doing Rockbusters in a bit.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Before you even get to Rockbusters, oh, man alive, there are loads more verses to Old Mother Hubbard.
Are there?
I'm going to digest these while we play the ads, and I'll see if there's any salient information I can give you afterwards.
Brilliant. Delays. Long time coming on XFM 104.9. With Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington for the last time.
XFM 104.9.
Sad.
We've established that Hubbard went to the cupboard, Rick.
Yeah.
Get the dog a bone. The cupboard was empty.
Yeah.
As we all know. And
So the dog didn't have any. End of story. So the dog didn't have any.
Well, no.
Hold on,
Wait.
go on. What?
It turns out
What?
there's what appears to be something like 15 other verses.
Not really.
Unbelievable. I'm not going to go through all of them, Rick.
Right. Any information?
Well, basically, I can tell you straight away that the dog initially had none.
Yeah.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the poor dog was dead. Right, you're pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin. When she came back, the poor dog was laughing. I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. I mean...
So the dog was winding her up then at the beginning, being dead.
I mean, he's pushing his luck.
But-
especially if she's already depressed.
But do you know, if I was that dog, right, and I live with old Mother Hubbard, right, all that faffing around, I'd be going, I know there's no bones in the cupboard,
Exactly.
right? What do you mean you're going to get me some bread? I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in bread. Get me some hamburgers.
Yeah.
So I think I'd start winding her up.
She went to the Our House to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair.
See, I'd have said the dog had turned queer.
Yeah.
Make it
don't
rhyme
stand
the
very
leaves,
well,
and
does
also
it?
get a little, he's smoking a pipe, he's having a laugh,
I'm beginning to wonder
he's
if...
bent. He's bent.
I'm beginning to wonder if this is based on fact, though, in any way, because she went to the grocer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute.
He's gay.
It is the flute, it's not, now this, I didn't even know there was a goat involved. She went,
Oh, no.
She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat. When she came back, he was riding the goat.
Yeah, there you go. Dirty little, what?
She went to the Hatter's to buy him a hat. When she came back, he was feeding the cat. I mean...
I can't believe it. So I'm thinking the pipe's a crack pipe.
Hang on a minute. I think the gay thing's beginning to stand up.
Go on.
She went to the barber's to buy him a wig. When she came back...
He was having a frig.
He was dancing a jig. He's dancing a jig. You're dancing a jig.
He's dancing a jig, smoking a pipe, shagging a go.
This is a bit of left field one though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes.
Why does he need shoes? I bet they're high heels.
Wait a second though.
But
She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes. When she came back, you're never going to believe this.
What?
He was reading the news.
brilliant.
She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen. Again, don't know why. When she came back, the dog was a-spinning.
Yeah.
She went to the hosier's to buy him some hose. When she came back, he was dressed in his clothes.
Why did she want to
But this is the big payoff that we've been building to.
Right.
The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow, the dame said, "Your servant," the dog said, "Bow wow."
Right.
I mean,
Okay. I'm going to probably do a few more verses during the next
during
song.
the course of the show.
Yeah.
Listen, before we move on, I should just say that we've had various people saying what was in the bed and what was the final line of the bed thing.
Why do they care?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? We've talked about politics in the past, great music, we played great songs.
Yeah, we've got Monkey News coming up talking about politics.
But Danny's said that apparently it ends with one in the bed, little one said good night.
Because he was all happy, he had the
he
bed to
mentioned
himself,
that.
and there's
But
nine
Ava-
of his mates piled on the floor.
Rick, but Ava counters that by saying, actually, one in the bed, the little one said, come back, because he felt lonely. So...
We're never going to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know, Rick.
This is the same as the Kennedy thing.
There's
There's loads of different opinions.
Conspiracy theories.
I know, we don't know what's going on. But Jimmy Webb would go, Jimmy Webb, Galveston, fantastic version on XFM, 104.9. You know what, Steve? I know, people are going to miss the talk about little Chinese fellas, little gay fellas, little monkey fellas, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to miss some great tunes as well.
I'd hope so.
She went to the jeweller's to buy him a clock, but when she got back,
What was he sucking?
a chalk ice.
A chalk ice, fine.
So
Fine, respectable.
yeah.
I sort of feel like, one thing we've never done, Rick, is we've never pandered to people, but as it's the last show, we've got to give the audience what they want.
Rockbusters?
Well, yeah, and I was going to say things they don't want as well. Well, just basically to keep a smile on Carl's face.
Yeah.
I say a smile, a sort of, not quite a scowl.
Yeah, he never really smiles.
So, it's just really as a chance for him to have a go. It's like, you indulge an annoying child.
The only time Carl laughs is for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
What do you think, like...
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes you'll go... and I know you'll be thinking of what a monkey could do.
Yeah, it's like people who've had electroshock therapy.
Yeah! Oh, it's such a tied down biting on something.
Yeah.
Biting on a big leather pad.
Let me just tell you briefly what the prizes are. It's the number.
That looks like a piece of shit. You got
Let me tell you, mate. Let me tell you. There's a number of mediocre CDs and DVDs.
That is real
But
talent.
mainly, what about this? It's the Lord of the Rings Collector's Edition.
Oh.
Of the movies, you're thinking? No, it's the Radio 4 adaptation. It's only 14 hours long, Rick.
Oh, that is... Throw that away.
So,
pop that in the bin.
so
That is just... Either pop it in the bin or send it to some poor bastard who wins this quiz.
Exactly. If you're willing to take part in the quiz, you deserve 14 hours of your life wasted with that Tolkien tripe. So...
Right.
Yeah, what are the clues then, Carl?
Right, as always, just, you know, cryptic clues and that. Initials of a band or an artist, work it out, win the stuff.
Yeah. Email only.
Yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. First clue is as follows. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for...
It's the good old Jamaican fella. The Jamaican fella.
It's the last show and the little Jamaican fella's made an appearance.
This normally suggests that you need to think of the answer in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah,
So
any
hang on,
accent.
hang on.
Or an accent. Or pronounce the word slightly differently.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go on.
The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Alright?
Yeah.
DC is on the initials.
DC, D for
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah,
Okay.
DC. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. That's the first one. Second one. It's 3 of them. Second one is, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, The Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper, and Darren Brown. We should all vote for them. Why is that? What was...
I've just got the first one.
ES.
ES.
Right? ES.
Okay.
And the last one, Steve, what did your dad do? Huh?
Steve, what did my dad do?
What did your dad do?
Is that the question, or are you asking me?
Well, Ricky, what did your did do? It can work on anyone. What
Right.
did your dad do?
Alright.
Right? That's E. Right?
What
So-
did your dad do?
Quickly, again, the Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Right? DC. Second one, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine,
Yeah,
Copperfield, Great Soprano. No, but that's important. Right? ES, and the last one, you know, Steve, what did your dad do? Right?
Okay.
The initial E.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We don't want to speak to you. Please don't phone up.
Remember, you could win some Lord of the Rings tripe. Right.
There's no more on XFM.
Right.
Last Rockbusters ever, thank Christ. Thanks no more in their version of I'm Easy on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Rick,
For the last time.
we've only really got 3 topics of discussion on this show. I think you agree with that.
Little Chinese fellas.
Little Chinese fellas,
Monkeys.
monkeys,
And the gays.
the gay people.
Yeah.
We're hoping to cover all those subjects today. Monkey News is coming later. I'm
Yeah.
sure we can find something to discuss about gay people.
We've done gays, we've done a few gays.
I suppose we talked about the
we've
dog
just said
thing.
Yeah, big time.
I think you'll be enjoyable. This is something that's got sent through to us. I'm not quite sure who by, but thanks very much for it. It's a story that was in the press recently. I'm not going to give you the headline. I think it gives away too much. I think, Carl, you'll be particularly interested in it. A farmer in eastern China,
Right, here we go.
basically, he paid £1,300, or the Chinese equivalent, to marry a woman, and basically she refused to sleep with him after the wedding, complaining that she felt unwell. 6 days after the ceremony, she tried to run away, but the farmer followed her. He found her in some neighbouring town. They grappled together. The bogus bride's false breasts fell off.
And he's hard.
It
Not his hard up to his old tricks, is
It wasn't his hard.
Trying to do another show in Chinese this time.
But it was a man.
Oh,
And
no.
apparently, it was an arranged marriage. I don't know who sorted that out.
Did he get his money back?
I think.
Because I think men are cheaper than women to marry in China. I think on this.
But yeah, I mean, you've got to be pretty simple not to realise that the person you're marrying's a bloke, surely.
Well, no, if he didn't have a little look, what was you know, in the back of the store? He just saw the shop window, sort of lovely little Chinese lady there,
Yeah.
right? You know.
The lovely hair, real breasts.
Well, there's lumps where the breasts should be.
Yeah.
I can only assume they are breasts.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not, you see women walking around going, what are they, breasts, or are they, stealing sort of grapefruits. No,
but wouldn't there have been a lot? I mean, wouldn't there be quite a sort of long initiation period when they first get introduced and so on?
Not if he put his money down. He came in there, said, "Right, I want a bird quickly. Here's a grand.
Sure.
Get me one." They're not going to say, "Do you want real breasts?" Or they're just going to assume.
Sure.
Yeah, here's one.
Yeah.
Here's a little Chinese.
But who is
lady.
he paying? Where is he buying this woman from?
From the Chinese lady shop.
From the Chinese lady shop.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
I think there's one in Chinatown, I think.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
not really a town.
Not exactly a town, more a novelty street.
And the roads are very slippery.
Very sticky.
I tell you what, though.
What?
I was looking at their menus when I was walking home. They don't waste anything, do they?
Why?
Duck's tongue on the menu.
Yeah, but it's better when you say it. Alright, duck's tongue. A duck's tongue, really?
You sure that wasn't the proprietor?
Coldplay, warning sign on XFM, 104.9. Carl, look at that. What is it? What is it?
It's an apple.
Right, okay. What am I doing to it?
You're messing with it.
Yeah, and what's happening to it?
It's gone up a bit.
Yeah! Would you kiss it for 100 quid?
No.
100 quid. Would you just kiss it?
No, I wouldn't.
Why? 100 quid?
What are we doing this for?
I think I read this same feature on Wogan, I'm not sure. Seriously, Carl, I'm intrigued to know, how much would you have to be
just
paid
kiss
to
it.
kiss Ricky's nipple?
Not suck it or lick it or anything like that. Just, like that, just on the nipple.
£5 grand.
£5 to kiss my nipple? Well, if you do it for 5, you do it for 1. £1,000 cash to kiss my nipple.
No, I'm not doing it.
You're joking? £1,000 to kiss my nipple? Come on, it's the last show.
No, I'm not doing it.
2,000.
If you had the money there, and, like, if you had it there now, I might do it.
For what?
I'm not doing it.
500 quid.
No. Stop taking it down.
What's happening to...
£2 grand.
2 grand? So you've gone down from 5 to 2 straight away. Look.
Steve, what's going on?
I seriously think I'd like to see you kiss his nipple
Well,
for
it's not going to
£2,000.
happen, is it? So,
If Steve wants it and I want it, that's
It's
2
not
to
gonna
1.
happen. It's not gonna happen.
I thought it was a democracy, this show.
you're not educating Ricky or what?
Email in if you'd like to see, or rather hear, Carl
bother.
kiss Ricky's nipple for
Don't bother, because
£2,000.
it's not going to happen.
Come on, Carl.
Right.
It's not like he's Jono's nipple.
No.
It's next. Okay.
Would you kiss this for,
Right,
25
okay,
quid?
wrong, but now what are you doing? What are you doing educating Ricky?
Do you want to set that
Why
up?
were you looking, by the way? Why were you looking at that? You didn't have to look at that.
We're doing...
Go on.
Right, this is when I teach Ricky stuff. Just give him some headlines to sort of tease him into what's gone on this week that you might want to know about.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Is that important?
Yeah.
Right, you got that.
Headline one.
That'll be something to do with ants. So,
Where there's a way, where there's a will, there's a way.
right, okay, that'll be something about sucking mints.
Hook, line, and good thinkers.
God.
Right,
Okay.
so which of those are you choosing?
I'll have the, is that important?
What you want to do it now? I was just going to leave
Yeah,
it.
go
let's
on,
do
let's
one
do
of
this
these.
one now, yeah, come on. It's
Alright.
Christmas Eve, open one, come on.
You know I don't like anteaters.
Why?
Okay, so I should just point out to people that as far as Carl is convinced, the stories that he's about to relate are absolutely 100% true.
Yeah.
You be the judge of whether
He's
you
seen
think
them on the
that's right.
internet, of course they're true, go on.
Anteaters, yeah.
Why didn't you like them?
I've told you before, I just don't sort of... It annoys me that an animal's named after what it eats. You don't need
Yeah,
it.
but it didn't choose it, did it?
Yeah, but if there's nothing else that it can be called, it's like, oh, what's it do? I don't know. What's it eating? It's eating ants, right, let's call it an anteater.
What-
It's not good enough.
But why are you annoyed at it, though, for someone else calling it being lazy?
Because it obviously doesn't do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
But what do you want to be called? The Chartered Surveyor?
Well, whatever, just a proper name.
What's the proper name?
Well, I'm just saying,
But tell me an animal that's a proper name to you.
beaver is pretty good.
Why is that a proper name?
It doesn't matter anyway, I don't understand what they're
Alright,
about.
you,
right?
you and anteaters have got issues.
Right, okay. Sometimes I genuinely don't understand what his thought processes are. Go on. Right, okay, an ant. You don't like anteaters because they just eat ants and that's what they're named after. Go on.
Right. Do you know that an anteater
Yeah.
can stick its tongue in and out 160 times in a minute?
No, didn't know that.
Right?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Thanks.
No, but do you think that's good?
I don't know
What do you mean? So I call Norris McWhirter? What do you mean, do I think that's good? What, compared to what?
You see, I read it and thought, so what? So it's interesting.
Well, we think so what as well.
So you still put it down as something interesting to tell me?
No, but it's the fact that that is meant to be amazing. I did
Who's claiming it's
148.
amazing?
I did 148 last night in a minute, right?
God! Oh, well, hold on. There's my nipple. How many could you do if it meant you had to touch my nipple at the end? £2,000. Burn Baby Burn on XFM 104.9. We do talk twaddle.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know why we haven't got we haven't got any complaints, have we? We've had one.
No one listening.
No, it must be that, because Kilroy, he's probably got a big show, and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But, you know, mind you, you know, I'd be annoyed if he'd have said that about me.
Yeah.
But he's got to be careful who he annoys, because he will end up having to move him with Salman Rushdie. Do you know what I mean?
Is Salman, is he still on the run?
No, he's out.
They forgive him,
I've
do they?
seen him twice. I think he's out all the time now. I bet his flat's a pigsty.
Sure.
It was not neat when he was living with 400 CIA people and a couple of...
You
policemen.
remember he went into hiding, I think it was mid-80s, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
He went into hiding, he was in there, he was hiding, basically, surrounded by security guards, confined to his flat for about 10 years or something.
I'd have thought so, yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture of his missus?
Yeah, are you annoyed?
Well, I mean, man alive, she's like a sort of, I think she's like a former Miss India or something. Stunning.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of him? I mean, he might be a great man and a talented writer and an intellectual fella, but, Jesus. Do something with the beard.
Well, yeah, but he's busy, isn't he?
What?
He's busy writing
How
stuff.
did he pull her? When he was just basically in there? In his flat?
I don't know. Internet.
Possibly.
Just got to know him, and then she kept saying, send a picture. He goes, no, I'm not sending a picture, come round.
Yeah. Read some of the books, they're brilliant.
They're brilliant. She goes, well, yeah, now I'm in love with you. Let's have a look. Alright, well, I'm in love with you now, so...
Yeah. You know, he's going, got my own place.
Got my own place, yeah. I got a few staff.
Yeah,
There's a few other people hanging around.
Exactly.
Don't worry about
You
it.
know, I'm in a lot.
I'll tell you something else that'll annoy you.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking, not only married, but dumped her for his, nurse.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
So he's pulling birds left, right and centre.
Well, you know, it's true that you know, I mean, not so much now, but years ago I was not the ladies' man.
But you
I
are
am
now.
Rick.
You weren't sort of suave and sophisticated. You
I'm
weren't
not, exactly.
You weren't the James Bond type that you've.
I wasn't
grown
the James
in-
Bond of TV comedy.
Because I
the way
remember,
am now.
I remember Carl when you first met him about 3 years ago. What did you think?
Just a bit odd.
I love it.
And that's coming from him.
I know. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what used to really annoy me. Talking of, do you remember there was that story? I think it was a world record-breaking attempt. There was a bloke. I think it was up in a car park, in a pub car park, in sort of Leeds or something.
No, Mansfield. It was a car park in Mansfield, and he broke the record for being buried alive.
Being buried alive.
I mean, and he was literally in a casket, like, not David Blaine out in the lovely
Yeah.
sunshine with loads Jonathan Ross waving to you.
Yeah.
No, none of that. Paul McCartney calling
Throwing
you.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He was buried alive in the dark with just a tube
Yeah.
for communication.
I
They
think
put
he was
water
buried
down
about, he's buried about 10 feet underground.
Yeah.
There's a tube which people would communicate and send
and
stuff
put
down.
water down and
And I
put
remember
that-
reading the story. I was interested in it. I remember reading it, and there was one element of the story.
You would think it was a cheap holiday.
Well,
You're not going to pay those prices. 400 quid, host seasons, you're having a laugh. That's nothing. Mansfield car park.
and there was an element. It said in the news report. It said that while he was down in the ground, he began and ended a relationship with a woman. While he was down there, some fan who was a fan of what he was doing, he started communicating with her through the tube. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but they began a relationship and it ended. And I have to say, I remember thinking, you know, when you read that there's a man.
How did it end?
Well,
Why
I've
did
no
you go
idea.
that this isn't working? Yeah, that's twice you've stood me up.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get out, can I?
But I remember thinking at the time, you know, I was to say I was not the sort of the ladies' man that I am now. I remember at the time reading it and thinking, there's a bloke, you know, he's pulling women 10 feet underground through a tube.
Through a tube.
I mean,
I'm out and about.
Yeah.
With some of the most expensive hair products on the market.
I've got to sit down and ask myself some very serious questions.
Oh dear.
Extraordinary. I don't know if he did the world record attempt. I don't know if he broke it. I don't know how that happened, but good luck to him. I don't know
What do you mean a hole though? Like what? a proper thing, or is he moving about? How big is it?
No, it was just, I think it was just buried alive in a casket. I don't know, just down there. Probably laying on his back, maybe. Just waiting for little bits of water.
But could he get out if he wanted to?
Well, yeah, he could say, can you get me out? He couldn't just leave and then come back. There was people...
So someone's there, then?
No, they buried him and said, wow, we better go back in a couple of weeks, see how he's doing. What do you mean, someone's there? Of course there's someone there. Norris McWhirter, for one, I'd imagine, going, 3 days. Just a few more to go.
And why
is it Norris or... Who's alive, Ross or Norris?
I think it's Norris.
Right,
you're thinking of, yeah. What's
It
that?
annoys me a bit, all this sort of, you know, getting in a hole and in a box and all that, and people going, oh, that's good. I mean, if he was doing something when he was down there, making something or whatever, you'd go, that's quite clever, but I don't understand all the fuss about... I don't know, people are just making a fuss about things that aren't that clever these days. It's just... You know what I mean?
I don't reckon he beat Anne Frank's record.
No, I think she's got the record.
I know, yeah, and she did something, she wrote a book.
She kept
so
going.
you must think that she's pretty good then.
Yeah, but at least she did something.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. There's some fuss, about a woman who's going up Everest on a bike, right? Someone's walked it. That's harder than going on a bike.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
Of course it's not.
Of course it is.
Not
Walking's
uphill.
better than... Riding about on a bike's better than walking everywhere.
Yeah, but not uphill.
Well...
No? Don't agree with me. Why do people get off their bike and walk it up a hill?
They don't always, I see people...
No, but why do they? When people are going up a hill on a bike, but they get off and push the bike...
Just saying.
No, why is that?
Doesn't matter.
Do you think it's because it's harder? They go, I'll tell you what, this would be a lot easier on the bike, but I'll tell you what, I want a bit of a challenge. I'll get off and walk up this hill. You dopey.
Go along then. Clap for her and that. You know what I mean? When someone's doing a London Marathon in a car, you can go and clap them, because that's just the same as far as I'm concerned. It's not hard.
Play a record.
Imbecile.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like...
So Alive, Ryan Adams on XFM, 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington, for the last time.
Well, you might do some other stuff later.
Oh yeah, I mean,
music
yeah,
stuff.
for a little while at least.
Well, we won't be around for, foreseeable future. Better things to do, bigger fish to fry.
Well, you got your music show that you'll do, that should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the other radio stations are more interesting.
I think we've just got enough energy left for the last 35 minutes.
Yeah.
We've given them a lot, Steve.
We've given them a lot.
We've come in here, week in, week out, every Saturday. Never late.
We've always given them, 30%.
Really
put it, 30% of energy.
Yeah. How did that start? People going, you've got to give 110%.
Yeah.
It just, my heart sinks, and I go, 100%. I say, you've got to give 110%. Okay, I can't. I'll give, I'll tell you what, I probably won't even give 100, because you never know, but I'll give as close to 100 as I can stand.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying that to a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give nearly 100. And that's, that's more than most, I think you'll find.
Maybe if you appear on Celebrity Fact Club.
Well, I don't think I need to, do I?
Well.
Carl, do you think I need to go on that?
When you had your nipple out.
It was pointing downwards, was it?
A little bit.
Even though it was erect, it was pointing toward my knees.
Can I just point out that we've had more requests for Carl to kiss your nipple than we have answers to Rockbusters?
Ain't gonna happen.
It's the last show, Carl. You've
Come
got to
on.
give the punters what they want.
In the webcam, and just a little peck
Ooh,
on the nip. A little
Carl,
peck.
that is just out of order. The show must go on. You've got to give people what they want.
I'm doing it.
Why? Why not?
What's wrong with it?
Lips on nipple. What's up with lips on nipple?
You hear about stuff like this, and then, I might enjoy it, and then next thing it's like, Suzanne, can you leave? Because, you know what I mean? I like fellas. So that happens, isn't it? So that happens.
That's like an episode of Kilroy. Oh, God. Oh,
I'll
Emma.
tell you this.
Pilkington, are you thinking
I'm thinking exactly the same as you. I think I was reading the paper today. The show's been axed.
It's axed.
But they're keeping the show on at the same time. It's going to have a different name, different host. Hello.
Pilkington.
Come on.
Hello, welcome to Pilkington. Oh, Carl, what would you do? If we give you a subject, will you just run through what you might say about it, or what questions you asked?
Well, what sort of stuff?
Okay, sort of like, Steve's, 15, I'm 15, and my dad wants to have a sex change, so I'll play the dad, right? I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff from Luton. I'm a 54-year-old plumber. And, I've decided, and this is my son,
Paul.
Paul. Paul, you sure to be Paul?
Yeah, I thought it to be Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ask me some questions.
So what's going on?
Well, I'm not happy with this body. I've always felt that I was a woman trapped in a man's body.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and, I think I'd be happier, as a woman, and, you know, it's for him to accept it, really, because I'd have accepted anything that he wanted to do, or, you know, and it doesn't change
I'm not
anything.
Tanny.
No, I know, but I mean, it won't change anything. You know, I still love you, and I'll still be your father.
I can't believe I agreed to come on national TV. I'm gonna get taken out of me at school.
Really?
Man alive.
Well, you know, with that, you gotta go through lots of stuff, but I mean, don't think of me any different.
What does Mum think of all this?
Well, Mum she doesn't want it really, but I mean, I'm not gonna throw away the knob and bollocks, I'm gonna keep that for her in case she ever wants to use that, but I just don't want them attached to me. I'm gonna have them off, I'm gonna have some lovely pair of tits put on, and a nice little minge down there, but I'm not bent. I still fancy my wife and that, and, you know.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, brilliant!
That's your audition for Pilkington.
Well, what can I say? I'm not a doctor, right?
But what would you want? Come on, ask me questions about what?
Discussion.
Ask me-
I'm
ask me
upset
stuff.
with my dad because he wants to become a woman.
But we'll say stuff like, well, dear, but you mean, you've had a son, and he's going through an awful lot. Should you think of him? Shouldn't you put his feelings?
Should you think of your son before you go doing that?
Yeah, but if I'm not happy with who I am, how can I live a lie? I'd go through my whole life living a lie just because he might go through a little bit of embarrassment. You know, he's old enough to realise now that you know, I love him, and I just need to have some tits and a minge on me.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Oh, Christ Almighty!
Well, what more
Play a
can I say?
record!
I'm not
Well,
sure you
Rockbusters
get it.
answers. Let's do Rockbusters answers.
Rubbish.
I don't want the gig anyway.
Like they were seriously considering him.
Thanks for coming in! Brilliant! Go on.
Did I tell you my dad's always been asked to go on that?
Why?
He's always been asked to go on.
Is he a woman trapped in a man's
No,
body?
they want to talk about you. They so it's
right.
disappointing. Go on.
Anyway, Rockbusters, right? Right, first clue was, Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights.
Yeah.
Right, that was the cryptic clue. The initials were DC.
Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, no, you tell me.
It's Define Comedy. Alright?
Define comedy.
It's a divine comedy. Alright?
What is that?
That's a
Do
Jamaican
the accent again. Do the accent again.
Oh, it's just divine comedy. That's
Why
just
are you talking?
That's
Do it
just
again, do the
no,
accent
I'm not
again.
doing it again. You've got the answer. It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Right? Second one. We should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper and Darren Brown. Why is that? ES were the initials.
Go on.
Elec, Trick 6. Right?
What?
Elec, Trick 6. It works, so don't say it like that.
I don't know what it means.
Right, well, there's 6 people there who do tricks and that. Right? I'm saying we should vote for them, so you elect them.
Yeah, but he said elec.
Yeah, Electric 6.
No,
It
elec
works,
though.
it
Elec.
works.
No, elec's not a word, is it?
And the last one,
I don't think elec's a word. Elec.
Steve.
You don't mean Alec, do you? It's not Alec
Steve.
Park. You're not trying to do Alec Park. The one.
Third one, Steve. What did your dad do?
I don't know.
That was E. Could work for anyone. It didn't have to be Steve, right? That was Erasure, right? Erasure. You brought it up.
Erasure. No, it doesn't work either. It doesn't work
Kinda does
either.
work. It
No,
does
it doesn't
work.
work. Doesn't work.
Who's the winner?
None of them work. None of them work. Another pile of crap
I'm gonna give you...
for the mind of little stupid
Go on, Steve.
I'll give the prizes
dopey
to...
little.
I'm going to give the prizes to Martin Williams from Flintshire. I don't know where Flintshire is. He says that he's promised to listen to the Lord of the Rings. And by listen, he means sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
So, thanks for coming in.
Stupid. The end of Rockbusters from the stupid little shitty brain. I'm going to say it of Pilkington. Possibly my favourite song of all time, after the Gold Rush by Neil Young, and that's for Carl's lookalike, Boyd, who's actually on Justin Lee Collins' show after us, about 5.
He's not really a lookalike.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
He's got a bald head. Look like Gandhi.
Well, he's in the toga, he does. A little bit.
I don't think Andy wore a toga.
No. So what are you,
What did he do?
Oh, dear.
What
We
did
just
you-
sat around, to be honest, Carl.
Didn't want to get involved.
Didn't do much.
Just said, don't have a go, just be careful.
Yeah.
Don't go mental, don't start fighting, let's all calm down a little bit. He's the one in the pub that goes, okay, stop this, stop mucking around.
We were educating Ricky earlier, Carl. I wonder if we should resume that, as the clock is ticking away.
Alright, you've got 2 bits of info that you could be, leaving the building with today, right? You've got, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I have that one.
They've brought out this drug or, sort of tablet or something.
Yeah, you looked into it then, yeah, go on.
Carefully researched.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Which means, like, an 8-year-old woman can have a kid. What do you think of that?
No, it doesn't.
What are you
No, it
talking
does.
about?
You can inject a woman with something, 80-year-old, and it means, you know, she's got more time on her hands now and that. It's better to have a kid. She can have a kid later on in life.
I just realised, where there's a will.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Right, well, let's just move on from that, because he's clearly drivel.
No,
it's not.
I think it's a bad idea. Of course it's a bad idea.
Mm.
I'll even give you that it's true and possible and might
No,
even...
it is true and possible.
Okay,
It's, been,
well-
you know, it's not even recent, it's like a few weeks old.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's terrible. No, you shouldn't do it, yeah.
Alright, what's the final educating Ricky? So far, I'm not impressed.
Get her a cat.
Yeah, but
Get her a
they
little
meant-
Pekingese.
they
Don't
meant
get
to-
her,
they
don't
meant-
let her have a child.
Yeah, but it's meant to get you thinking, like you're saying, well, she shouldn't have a kid. Or
By the time he's 5, she'll try and pick it up and her arms will break.
whose arms?
Moving on, what's the next one?
Would she get a breastfeed?
Yeah. And she'd be able to do it standing up while he was on the floor.
Talking to nipples.
Hey, come on.
There's a lovely
Look,
juicy pair over there.
Okay, I think this is the last show. People should actually phone in and speak to Carl and try and convince
forget
him.
that.
Yeah, what's the number, Steve?
Oh,
I
forget
don't know.
that, we
What's the
haven't got
number?
time.
Yeah, I hate to answer it. We'll do it during the
Leave it,
record.
leave it.
Phone in if you want to speak to Carl, if you know the number. Call
No,
in,
they
try
don't
and
wanna.
convince Carl to
Don't
kiss a
wanna.
little nipple.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Right, what we're doing, are we,
What's the last educating Ricky? Come on.
hook, line and good thinkers.
Brilliant. Okay,
Yeah,
go on.
sounds good. Go on, what is it?
They've found a lot of fish with 2 heads. What do you think of that?
Well, don't know. What do you mean they found a lot of fish with 2 heads? Who else?
They've been messing about, basically, these scientists and stuff, and they've said, look at this we can do.
Mm.
And they're making loads of fish with 2 heads. They can do it now, and they're saying, that's good, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Alright, play record then.
Yeah, but what do you think?
I think if they can do that to fish, they should try and do it to you, and then at least you'll have 2 brains to work with.
Yeah.
And we might...
Arguing. I'd love you arguing with yourself. And you end up you're walking on the street, but you're just headbutting each other. Just cracking
Imagine
heads in
the
the middle.
squeezing fun you'd have for it.
I wouldn't know what to do. I'd bang them together. It'd be like one of those knackers you used to have at the playground on the string. I'd just whack them together. I hit you in on the window, didn't I, to see what the noise meant today, didn't I?
Yeah. Just if I had 2 heads, right? Would I be able to sort of do shifts? Do you know what I mean? Say if this is a start or something, they're trying it out with fish and that with 2 heads.
You'd be 2 different people. You can't think like you're one. It doesn't make sense. If you had 2 heads, you'd have 2 brains. You'd have, you know.
Well, that's all right. But say if we did the same job, well, we'd be doing the same job.
Yeah, you could.
So you could say, right, you work through the night.
You'd take it in turns to do your job badly and moan about it. Yes, it'd be fine.
He's
Weird,
giving it
yeah.
some serious thought.
I know, yeah. And so's his other head.
Yeah.
But also, they're saying there's like a fish shortage, and I was wondering whether they're doing like they're trying to make that better. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
they
well,
do like
as the head is the bit you throw away, it'd be perfect.
no, but when they do a head count like they do, that's what they do. They do like
They count fish, they get fish, but okay, just end the line, 1, 2, I think you'll find we're 1, sir. Don't answer back!
Rick, I should just point out that I feel...
Don't answer back!
Come on, I think Carl has offered nothing there. I think those educating Rickies were appalling.
They're
And the only
rubbish.
thing that would redeem the show is if he kissed the nipples.
Because the nipple
not
phone
gonna
in if you want to
happen.
speak to Carl. If you know the
Not
number,
happening.
call in and try and persuade Carl while this record's on. We'll answer the phone, answer the phone. Phones are still going mad. Answer one. Just put someone out. Kings of Leon, California waiting. He was rude. He's so rude to people. They phone up and they say, "Oh, kiss his nipple," and he goes, "Yeah, all right," and he hangs up on them.
What am
Answer
I
the
meant
phone.
to say to
Come
someone?
on air. Answer the phone and be nice to whoever it is. Be nice to them at
putting
least.
people on the air.
Hello.
Carl,
Yeah. Speak to Carl.
why don't you speak about that human monkey that was on the other day?
Old news, man. How long have you been listening?
Listen, can we forget the monkeys? What do you think of his nipples?
Alright then, just kiss his nipple in for...
I'm not going to kiss his
500 quid.
nipple.
I'd do it for 500 quid, easy.
Would you?
Yeah.
But why? Why do you want me to do it anyway? What are you getting out of that?
Oh, come on, mate, 500 quid. It's worth it.
Yeah, but...
He's got the money. You'll probably get more out of him if you want.
It's not about the money, really.
500, think of Suzanne. Suzanne, you'd come on 500 quid and go, there you go. Just I kissed his nipple, 250 quid each.
She gives me more.
It's not hard.
It's not happening. Right, it's not happening.
Did you just cut him off then?
Well, there's another fella there.
Who's that?
Hi, my name's Linda.
Right. Alright, Linda, you alright?
What would make your day, Linda?
If Carl actually gave it a lick, not just a kiss.
Forget it.
If you're on XFM 104.9, pictures of you, and it's Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington hosting the final show. Exciting.
Which means the last film quiz. Carl puts himself in a film.
Claire's on next week, by the way, and then, Adam
Claire
and Joe.
Sturgis,
Yeah.
then Adam and Joe, brilliant.
Adam and Joe coming back, so that's
Excellent.
They're excellent.
good. Right.
Matt Lucas said he'd do a show. Give him a call and maybe him and Dave Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
Big
do
things
that.
of the...
Might do that.
Yeah. Very good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd be alright, yeah. Right, the film thing. This is when we get, like, a film, and, I'm in it, right? So I'm doing, we talked, you know, a bit about gay fellas and that today.
Yeah.
So we're doing, When Harry Met Barry.
Okay.
Alright? And listen to this, and then there'll be a question at the end, and you can win some more stuff. We've got DVDs.
Some
and
more
that,
shite.
some more good CDs and DVDs and
Yeah.
that.
Alright, let's hear it.
So, When Harry Met Barry, right?
We've got 18 hours to kill before we hit New York.
I know, yeah. Brought a few books just to kill a bit of time on the journey.
When I buy a new book, I always read the last page first. That way, in case I die before I finish, I know how it ends.
I read a book like that once. Not on purpose, though. It's just that all the chapters have been put in the wrong order, so it's a bit annoying. Got to chapter 1 before I realised.
Are you finished now?
Yeah, I bought another copy of it and read it in Lanzarote. It was alright. Good read. Listen, we're only staying in New York for a couple of days, aren't we? Because the place does me head in a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just stinks, doesn't it? It's a really dirty city. It's noisy. It's funny, the people who live there call it the city that never sleeps. I'm not surprised with all the noise.
I couldn't agree more.
Listen, I know you're gay in that, right? What is the attraction with New York for you lot? What? Because it is like the gay capital, isn't it? They all love it. Even that Rod Stewart song, you know, that Killing of Georgie, that was set in New York, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, well, that song was about a gay fellow, wasn't it, who moved to New York and ended up getting beaten up. Not a great advert for the place. You keep going there. Weird. Actually, I know why you like it. It's because it's a city that never sleeps, isn't it? You lot like going out late. You sort of run your life at a different timetable to everyone else.
Are you finished now?
No, I'm not being funny. I'm just saying. Just don't think you should live your life like that. That's
Why not?
Don't start getting angry. I'm
Oh,
just...
I think I'm entitled to throw a little anger your way. Especially when I'm being told how to live my life.
Yeah, you're right. It is your life. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be dragging me into it.
What?
Well, you know I'm not gay, so why did you buy me a butt plug for my birthday? I'm not going to use it.
What do you want me to do about it? I take it back, okay? I take it back.
Right.
Want to spend the night in a motel?
No.
Why not?
Because you're gay and I'm straight, that's why.
Why aren't you seeing anyone?
Well, I'm seeing Suzanne again. We only split up for a few weeks when she had that funny haircut that made her look like David out of Slade. It's grown again now.
She looked weird, didn't she?
Well, but forget that. Anyway, don't want to share a bed with you again, not after last time.
Oh, jeez, what are we supposed to do?
This isn't normal, mate. Pull over.
All right,
Forget it.
all right.
Forget
Don't
it.
you...
I don't want to talk about
How
it.
was that
Pull
club?
over. Just pull over here.
Fine, but let's
There's
just...
nothing, yeah? I'll get a B&B. And by that, I mean bed and breakfast. Not bum and bollocks, as you call it.
Get
right?
one thing straight.
Not interested. See ya.
Oh dear.
Excellent.
Oh, little Carl Pilkington.
When Harry Met Barry, it's a classic film.
What's the what?
What song was I talking about that, you know,
Yeah, we know.
New York
What song?
and stuff.
Yeah, we got song, yeah. Okay,
Artist will do, or the song title, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Email only ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We can squeeze in a tune, and then I hope...
Oh, Monkey
final
News.
Monkey News.
Oh,
Oh, what tune have we got? How long is it?
3 minutes. It's a nice one, though.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Bit of Amy Man.
Fantastic.
Alright.
Red Vines, Amy Mann. We've been playing some of our favourite tunes, and after Monkey News, Destiny Collins, we're going to leave you with one of our mutual favourite tracks of all time.
We won't say what it is yet.
We won't say what it is yet. It's a little surprise. Then Destiny Collins is in, with little Boyd Hilton, Carl's twin brother.
The answer to Carl's quiz question. Carl, what was the question?
It was, what was the song that I was talking about in that,
Harry Met Barry.
Yeah.
With Billy Crystal, The King of Georgie.
Yeah,
Of course,
Rod
the song by
Stewart,
Rod
good
Stewart,
song.
and Stephen Farron from Essex wins another,
DVDs and stuff.
Tat.
Alright.
Alright, well, this is the final one. Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee, that Monkey News, you
Right, well, this Monkey News story, right, it's about, this fella, a couple of fellas in Texas,
Yeah.
sort of running a farm.
Yeah.
Right?
Just because they're definitely fellas. Well, how tall are they?
No,
Can we
the fellas
just let him
Okay,
tell us
they
what-
aren't human beings. These two are human beings.
Time's against us.
They're
Rick.
running this farm and that, and, anyway, so they're outside getting the cattle, and he turns round, right?
It's just that cow's...
Couple of monkeys walking about, so he knows what's going on, right? So anyway, so it's in Texas, they don't know what to do with the monkeys, there isn't a zoo, it's fairly barren there, isn't it? You know what I mean? Not much going about. So the other fella who runs the farm with him said, look, we need a bit of an hand. Right? So, said, let's teach them some stuff, and the monkeys were happy with that, because they were lost anyway, right? So they had
They had nothing to do. They were bumming around, they were looking for work.
They'd hired a motorhome. They'd gone out of their way.
Maybe it's like the Hulk, they were like Bruce Banner wandering around going, oh, I need some work. You won't get angry, will you?
So anyway, right, so they taught these monkeys how to ride a horse, right? So they've both got a...
Sorry, you're sure Charlton Heston's not going to pop up? You're sure you weren't watching a video last night and thought it was a documentary?
They've both got a horse each, right? They've been given, like, a little lasso and all that business.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't talk
Right.
shit, Carl.
So, anyway, it's going well, and it carried on for about 2 years, this, right? It's like, you know, rounding up the cattle every night and all that.
Yeah.
So, the two fellas are chatting, going, it's worked out well, hasn't it? And that.
Right, if there's a hostile takeover, and they sort of like buy up 51% of the shares
So
or
they
something...
said, for this to continue, the monkeys are getting old a bit now. We need a little woman monkey in here to sort of get some kids going for, like, the future farm people.
Forward
Right?
planning, yeah.
So they get a little woman monkey.
They
in.
decided to only hire monkeys from
Why not?
Ireland.
Why not? It's working. Why mess with something when it's not broke, right? So they get the little woman monkey in. They have kids and all that business, right? But the problem was, right, when they first got the woman monkey in, it was like, well, which one's gonna have the woman, right? So they started sort of fighting a bit and what have you. But because they'd seen the owners of the farm with like
Don't
guns
tell
and
me the
stuff,
baby monkeys didn't want to go into the family business, went off to be a lawyer.
they had a bit of a shoot off.
Shut up!
They got two monkeys, right? And
Don't talk!
because they'd seen the owners with guns and what have you.
Yeah, no, that sounds
So they had a bit of a shoot off.
Yeah.
That's how they sorted it out.
And who won?
I think it was George. The one called George.
Right.
So I think they had 17 kids. The farm's still running. So that's like the last little monkey news there. Good little
Rick, does
happy
it
ending
count
to that one.
if you were to rub your nipple against his lips while I held him down?
Right, come off it now. Come on. No, I'm not doing
Bruce Springsteen, Thunder Road, last track on XFM's Ricky and Steve. You can check this all out on the webcam.
I've got fingers.
Get his arm out the way, get the arm out the way.
This happened on Scum.
Mary's dress away.
The Flaming Lips. Yoshimi battles the Pink Robots on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Good morning.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to own up straight away. I've done very little work towards this show this week. I'm a bit
You
busy.
surprised me.
Yeah. So I apologise if it sounds a bit sort of.
Thanks for being honest, though.
Well,
Rick.
no, I don't. I don't want people to go. Oh, no, that was a bit shoddy this week. I hope it's not going to be that every week.
Yeah.
So it is because I've done very little preparation.
Okay.
So
Right.
You know,
Whereas normally,
you'll probably have to help me out.
all right.
You have to do some of the work. Carl, you might have to help us out a little bit as well.
I don't know, but I mean,
because I know Steve's done nothing towards it either. So
the onus is on you a little bit here. I love the fact that it's still listed as either Ricky Gervais or Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. In the, you know,
Essentially, we don't need to be here, really.
no, but I know now people listen for Carl. Everyone I've spoken to, for you know, people on buses, to comedians like Ross Noble mentioned you the other day, and that you know, they go.
People on buses?
I've never been on a bus.
You
for
haven't been on a
years,
bus
no.
for like 12 years,
Yeah.
have you?
I know.
People on buses. I don't know why I find that so funny. I just know
Well,
the
they-
idea of
no.
you being on a bus. The idea of you
Well, I'm
handing
not
over
on
your
a bus.
fare.
They're shouting out from the window.
Right.
They're going, "I love Carl."
Right. yeah.
I'm walking along.
How much is it on the bus?
20 pence.
No, come on, seriously, how much is it?
One adult for Terminus, please.
I love the fact, you know, they do that thing where, like, if they're interviewing kind
What
of
is it,
Paul
50,
Newman or
60p?
someone famous,
No, it's quid, isn't it?
they
It's a
always,
quid.
They always say, how much is a pint of milk? And that's supposed to prove if you're sort of still in touch with your roots or whether you're too big a celebrity.
Yeah.
You've got no idea how much it costs on the bus.
Quid.
have you? It's not a quid.
120.
No, it's not 120.
Pint of milk, about 50p. 30p.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow.
Because I mean, it's fascinating because you gave this stuff. I mean, you gave this stuff up before you became a celebrity, didn't
What?
you? You were always
Lazy.
Because people always say to me like, "Oh, you know, Ricky seems a bit obnoxious."
Who
You know?
says that?
Well, no, they say, you know,
No. Who comes up to you and just says that?
The guy on the tube did it. I swear to God, he came up. He said I was watching an interview with Ricky. He said he's not a nice piece of work. I went, well, I mean, he said, no, I've got friends like that. You know, and it's like they're always talking, they're a bit irritating, you know, and you sort of let them off because they're your mates. But I was going, well, hang on a minute. He went,
Well,
no, fair enough.
two things. You know, it's sort of my job talking, and being interviewed. Essentially, you do have to talk.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if
about
that's-
yourself.
If that's his only criticism, then I'm not too bad.
No, he didn't think you were funny either. So. In fact, he had a whole list.
Was it-
Well, I
was-
say a list, a petition.
It wasn't Dickie Anderson, was it?
It wasn't Richard Anderson.
I hope he's listening.
He's our biggest fan.
I'll tell you what, Mock Turtles need a remix by Fatboy Slim, don't they?
Mock Turtles is a
Yeah.
great tune, but I'd love to hear it remixed.
Yeah. Mock Turtles, Can You Dig It? Remixed by Slim.
Yeah.
Yeah, XFM 104.9 on Ricky Gervais. Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Ooh, stuff to
dear,
do.
what's going on? What's
Stuff
been
to
happening?
talk about and that.
What's been
I
going
was,
on? What's been going on?
before you came in. Oh, you saw it, didn't you? That experiment I was doing with the.
An experiment?
Yeah.
Well, all I know is as I walked in the building and I passed the little kitchen area, you were hitting Carl on the head with a tin tray.
Didn't it make a good noise?
It was a great noise. But I'm interested. Explain more about the experiment. 'cause-
Well, I wanted to see how hard I could hit him and make it resonate, right, before I either caved his skull in, or,
Right.
you know what I mean? So, you had to hold it quite loose,
Okay.
so it could, like, vibrate, but you had to grip it hard enough to give it a good whack.
Right.
And his head's brilliant for hitting stuff on. He wouldn't-
Is it?
It is perfect. 'Cause
Carl,
it's like
could we recreate that moment a bit later on the radio?
You'll notice that you've been on for 15 minutes, I haven't said a word. So it's had a bit of an effect on me. still a little bit shaken.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, do it again later.
We were
Right.
talking about your head a little bit earlier, weren't we?
It's not going to mean that you're sort of a bit, you know, fuzzy thinking, is it?
It'll be alright.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, good. Can we
I said-
recreate that later, maybe
I
towards
s-
the end of the show? Just hit you on the head with various objects, see which make the best sound?
He
Thanks
said,
very
he
much.
said about earlier, talking about Time Out. I said something about in Time Out, and he went, yeah, do you read that? I went, yeah, I read it, get it every week, yeah. He went, there's no point though, is there? He said, because it's like a telephone directory. You know, if you want to look something up, you look it up, but you'd never sort of browse the telephone directory. And I went, that's an interesting point. He went, although I did. When I was in Scotland, I just looked up how many Macs there were, and there was 42 pages of them. How bored are you in your hotel room in Scotland to suddenly start working out how many people start with Mac?
Were you sat in your room, there was nothing else that you could think of
I've
to
been
do?
working, it's when we did the show from, you know, XFM did some stuff from Edinburgh.
Yeah. You were
Been a
sat in
hard
your hotel
day,
room?
Sat in the room, waiting to sort of go out and get some food and that. Sat there.
Why were you waiting to go out and get some food? Why
Because
didn't
we
you
were
go
all
and
going to
get
meet up, we're going to meet up with, you know, with Simon.
So
and
you
that.
thought, I'm not going to switch the TV on, I'm not going to read a
The
magazine.
telly was on, nothing was on, I wasn't impressed with anything that was on, so I'm looking around the room. I had a couple of the free shortbreads.
I love the fact he remembers.
Yeah.
He remembers a specific biscuit he
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I had a couple of them, and then looked around, there was a Bible, and I thought, well, I know about that.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that I don't know. So, got the phone book up, and I immediately thought, there's a lot of Mac this and Mac that in Scotland, Macintosh,
Mac Daddies.
Macateer,
Yeah.
there's loads
Return
of
the
names. So I
Mac.
thought, I wonder how popular it is.
I wonder just how popular it is.
42 pages of Macs.
Did you count how many pages there were?
Yeah.
Did you just work out from the numbers on the bottom of the page, or did you literally
No, I
count
counted.
them?
I counted.
Right.
And
how many do you reckon are on a page? There's a lot in there. If
quite a
someone
lot,
could
isn't
tell you approximately how many
sorry,
names they get on one page.
How long did it take you, this whole procedure?
What, the counting?
Yeah.
Not that
No,
long.
it's
It's
just
only
counting
2
the
pages.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not that much.
They're all
And what
together,
did you
luckily.
do once you digested that information? What did you do with that information? Did you tell
Stored
people
it,
what you
haven't I? I mean, look, how long ago was the Edinburgh Festival?
I stored it along with the biscuit. I love to get in his head. I imagine it's a big warehouse, and there's lots of partitions for weird stuff like kids born with tentacles and things like that.
I imagine there's like quite an old caretaker, and you go in there, you say, "I'm looking for that." He goes, "Hang on, I know where that. I put that somewhere. Hang on a minute, hang on.
Is this the one when they shave the cat? No, it's not shaving the cat. This is the Max. The Max. Oh, you know, Scotland, the shortbread. Well, don't give me the shortbread because that's putting me off. But
The what's the name though? Do you remember last week how we were talking about the airy kid? And
I think that's every week, Carl. That doesn't narrow it down.
Alright, well, we were talking about that airy kid in the woods, and did a bit more research this week.
Okay.
Found a good story out about a monkey.
Right.
Which I'll told Ricky a little bit about it.
Tell me, come on, tell it now.
No,
Right.
no,
Well,
tease
I
me
reckon
with
we
it.
should keep this.
It sounds exciting stuff.
That's got 'em, right? So we'll be doing that. we've
Sounds
got
hooked the audience.
we've got Rockbusters again this week.
Yeah.
We've got Doing Edom,
Yeah. What
Right.
are you trying to get rid of this week?
Cockroaches.
Right,
No,
good one.
I can't think of a reason to keep them.
No.
Looking into that, well, I sort the matter out. That's coming up.
Excellent.
We've got I'm teaching you some more stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He phoned me up today. Yesterday it was. You know, he's been researching, like, just educating Ricky. He said, what do you want to know about? I don't know. He said, you interested in space? And I went, yeah. Phoned me 3 hours later. He went, no, nothing about space. I went, what? He said, I couldn't find anything interesting. I said, you couldn't find anything interesting about space.
Yeah.
It's big.
It's pretty interesting, Carl.
He went,
It's big, but there's nothing there. That's it's like the Millennium Dome.
Oh,
So
God.
what I'm looking at, right?
But no, wait. He said, is there anything else you want to know about? I went, alright, I went, anthropology. He went, what's that? I went, study a man. I sent a man. He went, like what? I went, like, our roots from caveman through and all the, he went, I said Australopithecus, Neanderthal. He went, well, you know all that then? I went, no. He went, right. He went, do you want to know how a lung works or something? How a lung works? And I said, well, tell me how a fridge works. He went, oh, I said, it's just the gas, isn't it? I went, brilliant. I went, tell me how a microwave works. He went, I know. I went, no. I said, fella walking past in a laboratory with a bar of chocolate in his pocket, went past some sort of ray thing, it melted it, and he went, hold on. That's it. That's explained to me how a microwave works. Right.
So today we're doing sort of medical-ish type things under the banner of colon. Then educate me.
Oh, God.
Do it again.
Colon. Then educate me.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So that's like go on then. So
Yeah.
colon.
Brilliant.
So that's a little heading. You're going to be learning 3 things sort of medical-ish before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, do you want to,
Pretty much, yeah.
a bit of suede?
Go on then.
How many O'Reillys are there, do you think? No, little task for you.
Suede, animal nitrate. That's really got a Johnny Marr influence at the end, that guitar, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Still, yeah.
Still brilliant.
XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Tell us about this monkey, Carl.
You're going to love this one, Steve,
Go
right? Yeah, so last week we were talking about how, like, a lad left his family because there was problems at home and that. He went and lived in the wood, he got airy. Right?
No!
Leave it there, Rick. We haven't got time to go into
Right,
it.
so...
That's what happened.
And that's what happened. He lived with the monkeys, he went airy.
That's
Anyway,
what happened. That's what happened.
looked into some other stuff about, like, airy kids and all that.
Yeah.
Came across this story about a bloke, right, who worked in a zoo,
Oh, dear.
right? So...
Trouble's brewing.
loving his job and that, but it's quite a lonely sort of job because you don't see many people, you're just dealing with animals all the time, right? So anyway, he gets a bit pally with a monkey because it's the closest thing to a human.
Well, that ape is.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't really go that close to apes. Is it dangerous?
What do you mean? What type was it? Do you
Just
mean
let him tell the story.
Was it a chimpanzee?
I reckon it was a chimp. Yeah. Yeah, it
I
was a
don't
chimp.
even know. So
It
that's
was a
an
chimp.
ape.
It was a
Okay.
chimp. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does
So
it?
he
It's the
gets
story.
pally with him.
Right, so he gets pally with
What,
him.
do they go on
and
holiday together?
well, no, I mean, it starts
On the
off
pool together.
starts off just checking each other out and, you know, probably sharing lunch and that together.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, this goes on for a while. You know, they're getting on well on that. And then after a while, right, the monkey starts sort of imitating him a bit more and sort of walking upright.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Right? So he thinks, oh, that's a bit weird. Anyway, they get on really better and what have you. So he thinks he could live at home with me, this.
Yeah.
Because we're getting on a storm.
Yeah.
Right? So he takes him home and before
Is
you
this
know
the
it...
beginning of Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I think it is. I think you've seen this on video.
I'm worried, because he's already imitating him and they're moving in together. I'm thinking it's maybe a bit like Single White Female. Single White Zookeeper.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, so
Go on.
anyway, so it's moving in and it's getting used to sort of the normal human life. It's having a cup of tea in the morning.
Yeah. PG tips.
As a it finishes the day off with
Oh, dear.
Finishes the day off with what?
It
with
does,
a
it doesn't
little
have him
brandy.
move a piano at one point, does
He
he?
finishes the day off with a little brandy.
Yeah.
What, he pours himself a... Is he wearing a smoking jacket?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Carl. You're
Listen,
a maniac,
listen,
mate.
no, this is why it attracted me. It's amazing, right? So he's having his brandy and that, loving his life. Next thing you know, he sort of, I don't know if he loses it or he gets shaved, but the top half of his body is
Becomes
hairless,
hairless.
right? Apart from his head, right? So he's got a nice.
So it's the opposite of the kid.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what
Well,
I'm saying.
that would happen.
Right?
Well, hang on, but so you don't know if
You
he
don't
was
even
shaved
know.
or if it
How
died?
did it say? Then the hairless. What?
I'll bring it in for you, the story, and then you
All
can
right, well,
see if
okay,
I've gone
keep
wrong.
going, keep
So
going.
anyway, so
Wow.
so this is going on, and he's having a great life. Then the zookeeper starts getting a bit annoyed because he's having a better life than the zookeeper. The zookeeper's in the
This
zoo.
is such
So the
rubbish.
zookeeper's still got to do a day's work. The monkey's at home, he's partying,
Well,
he's
it
got
gets
his
to a
other
point when he
chipmates
says,
round.
"There's no point you coming in to the zoo because the whole reason of you being there was because you're being kept there."
Right.
And he didn't want to bring the memories back, so he said, "You stay at home." So
You are you're talking such.
Just let him finish.
God, I don't know if I can sit here and listen to this drivel.
Let me... I'm fascinated.
it's
It
nearly
sounds
over anyway,
amazing.
right?
It sounds extraordinary, Carl.
So he's walking up right. He's having a tea in the morning, finishing the day off with brandy. Gets a bit out of hand. Only tries it on with the zookeeper's wife.
Make him go away, Steve.
How does he do that?
Well, because he's around humans a lot, he becomes a bit of a charmer. And
But what is it that he could do to seduce her? Pick fleas out of her?
he didn't say.
He's
but-
built. He was built.
Yeah, it's well hung.
So what about that?
What do you mean? What about it, Carl? It's obviously not true. It's obviously not true.
This wasn't on the internet. This was in a book. So it's not a quick joke and just put it on a website. This is in a book.
I don't understand how the
I
monkey...
love that he becomes a charmer. He's got better taste in brandy.
Exactly.
And he, that
What
is-
was it that he was doing that seduced her?
I don't know. Maybe because he was at home more than the zookeeper was.
But what would he be doing,
I love
Carl?
the fact that-
He's not going to be talking with her. They're not going to be playing like Trivia Pursuit.
Maybe she liked the silent type. It didn't go into that. It just said that's when the trouble started.
Carl, play a record.
Alright.
Is that what Suzanne did when she brought you in?
Talking to the songbirds yesterday. It's just the way I'm feeling.
Feeder, just the way I'm feeling. XFM 104.9. I love that. Carl, you're panicking. You've just remembered a song from your childhood, and I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm going to give out a number. Please take this number down if you can help, Carl. It's 08700 800 1234. Right.
I'm not that bothered. We were talking about a track from the 60s,
Yeah.
Mighty Quinn,
Yeah.
and it was on the same compilation. My dad had a tape in the car, and the tape was always on in the stereo thing in the
Yeah.
car. And I used to sort of sit through all this stuff I didn't like, but knowing that coming up soon was a song about a monster with purple eyes.
It wasn't Puff
monster
the
with
Magic
purple
Dragon.
It wasn't that.
A monster. There must be something else about it that give
Do
people
you
a clue.
remember a chorus or a few lines?
it says something like it was a one-eyed, it had big eyes, purple, and it eats people or something.
The big-eyed purple eater. Wasn't there a song called something like that? The big-eyed purple.
And it was a hit.
I'm sure there was a song which is something like the intergalactic purple eater or something like that. It's a novelty song. Rubbish.
What, by the Bonzo Dog?
Yeah, it's that sort of thing. Yeah. I'm sure.
Well, if you know what car, look, the telephones have gone mad.
Yeah, well, we'll find out in a bit. I mean, I'm not that bothered. I'm not going to buy it. It's just that we were talking about songs and that. It'll be good to know who it was. But
yeah.
Right, Rockbusters.
Okay. Now, how long? Where did you get the phone?
What do you want to just answer?
Well,
that?
answer the phone. So just answer the phone.
Yeah, see what it is.
Just see someone's.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
All right.
Yeah, that song. I don't know. It's by, or is that what you want?
That's the bit I wanted. Really.
What's the name of the song?
Well, you know how it goes. It's like one night on a dawn,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I don't think you've helped much though. You can't remember what it's called or who it's by.
Well, no. I mean, I know the tune. That's about it.
But he's done well.
Steve,
Steve, he's done well. He's given up his spare time to call in and sing us a song. Don't diss him.
Rick, I'm concerned he's just only marginally remembering it more than Carl is.
It was actually in, I think it was in the Blob. No, it was in something like the Blob, actually. I think Steve McQueen was driving away and it was running in a sequence.
This is so very familiar. See if thanks very much, mate. See if we can get a title off someone.
And XFM.
Hello, yeah, I know the name of that tune.
Go on.
It's the Purple-Eyed People Eater?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And who's it by?
Yeah, well, I'm just at work and,
who is it by?
It came to my mind.
Do you know who it's by?
I don't know who it's by, mate, sorry.
This is not enough information. I wouldn't phone in
We
if I only
didn't
had half
ask
the
Lewis,
information.
but we asked him just what the tune was.
But I want someone like Paul Gambaccini to call in. He knows what chart position it got to.
Okay, right. Thanks
I
very
don't
much.
think this is enough information. That's two people.
The thing
We barely
is,
got
if
any
you know the
information
title,
from.
we can put it in the internet, can't we, and find out who did it.
Yeah.
That's full of
Brilliant.
information.
Well, thank you very much for calling in.
I don't know why they bothered, frankly.
Right, listen.
Sorry, no, I mean, I just think if you're going to bother to call in a radio station, have the facts. Have all the facts you have.
He hasn't got the facts, and he runs the radio station.
He doesn't run it. They keep him here like a mascot. He's like a pet, isn't he? They have him running around the office.
God.
Now listen, it's Rockbusters. I've got the prizes here. Rick, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we've given away some shoddy stuff in the past. This is the worst collection.
Tat, is it?
This is really scraping the bottom of the barrel, Carl. I mean,
hold on, the
how
phones
many
are going
more of
mad.
these can we give away?
If you're still phoning, hang up because we're not going to bother anymore. We're really sorry about that. Maybe email us or something.
How many of these can we give away?
Look at that. It's only Fools and Horses.
It's the Christmas special from not this year, the year before.
Yeah.
I mean, we have given away so many of these. I imagine there's charity shops throughout London
throwing them away.
Yeah, throwing them away.
Yeah.
So we got that,
dear.
and if you didn't watch it, if you weren't one of the 20 million that watched it.
Blue-eyed, fat-legged, purple-eater, people, if they had a big and had a big boo. It's something like that.
And once again, the best chill-out album ever, with, I mean, this pretty much rubbish.
It was a big boo.
Actually, no, the songs are okay, but
Purple-eater.
It's just basically a collection of songs you might have heard on adverts. So enjoy that. Oh god, this one again, the best air guitar album in the world, Volume 2.
This is no longer an entertainment show. This is three people chatting to each other now and again. Sometimes we remember it's going out, sometimes we just take a call for our own amusement. I mean...
It's the same price again. It's the David Attenborough compilation of DVDs, which I'd be very surprised if it actually makes it to you. I imagine someone here will have had that long before we post it.
Oh dear.
There's a T-shirt in here.
XFM 104.9.
You get sent a lot of
just
crap
in case you're wondering what you're listening to.
This is a Quicksilver T-shirt.
What is that? What T-shirt is that?
That's a T-shirt made by the Quicksilver people. So if you're a bit of a surfer dude, and by the look of the size of it, you're a midget.
You can't say midget.
You're welcome to it. And this is, I think, the piece de resistance, Rick. I mean, because you know the kind of fans we have. They're pretty cool cats, pretty groovy guys.
Yeah.
So I imagine they'll be loving on DVD Doctor Who, the Aztecs. That's one of William Hartnell, the first Doctor's classic episodes on DVD.
God.
There.
You know,
rubbish. That's rubbish, Carl. Those prizes. I'm ashamed to give them away.
Carl,
frankly.
you know our mate Johnny. He's a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Do you remember? He bought the Doctor Who magazine, and he went to the toilet, and Steve got post-it notes and put geek on every page, and Johnny opened it on the tube. right, and it had geek and everything. And Johnny brought in the new Doctor Who magazine, I think this week's or this month's, right? And they've done the perfect Doctor Who fan, right? What the geek is, right? And it looks exactly like Steve.
All right, don't have a go, Rick.
It does. And, I'm going to try and put it on the website. It's amazing. It's got your hair, glasses. It stands like you. It's sort of dressed like you, and it's only. It's hilarious. And he was. I mean, I'm insulting you now. It sounds like an insult, but if you'd see it, you'd laugh.
Well, Rockbusters, right?
Yeah.
Right. Here we go.
Just a little bit annoyed.
Just 3 clues.
We've lost all the energy in this show, haven't we?
Well, I can't get over that insult. I'm just a little...
No, we did, though.
It just came out,
Sort
no, I
of
can be honest with you,
things,
Ricky, came
3
out left
clues.
field. I wasn't expecting an insult.
No,
And,
but
I thought there was a sense of camaraderie on this.
No, but
Just email in ricky.gervais at
Right, play a record. I'm
xfm.co.uk.
just annoyed. I can't
What are we
listen to
doing?
Rockbusters
I'm
Clues.
just reading out the clues.
Should we put this? Let's put this one in for the Sony Award. Let's put this show in for the Sony Awards.
Play a song, Carl, because I need to discuss things with him. I've talked before about in
Edit it down. Get this down to 3 minutes. It'd be a great show.
Rockbusters in a minute. XFM.
Lonesome Day by Bruce Springsteen from his new album The Rising on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Foreman just phoned in and said to Carl, stick up for yourself, don't listen to that Merchant, he does my head in, he's so arrogant.
I don't think I'm arrogant, I think I'm mean.
Yeah.
I just think I'm sort of objectionable. I don't think it's arrogance. I think
No.
it's sort of nastiness.
Yeah.
I'm just not a very nice person. But believe me, I'm not arrogant, I think I'm pathetic. We've had a lot of emails saying, could you bring back White Van Carl?
Oh, yeah.
Which is that section of the show where we ask the questions that the Sun asks
Someone
various
else.
random punters.
Yeah.
Of Carl, but sadly recently they've got very politicised and very kind of, basically a little bit depressing. So there's not really anything appropriate, but I have trawled the papers looking for other questions posed in other sections of the Sun.
Good idea.
I was just looking here at the Dear Deirdre section, which is the sort of problem page. I don't know what your views are on
I'd
this.
love to see Carl. Oh, God, can we get him a job?
As
Just
an agony.
ask, oh my God, that would be amazing. Right?
Well, here's one. I'd like to see your view on this, Carl. I'm a happily married 42-year-old woman with 4 kids, yet I've developed a huge crush on pop star Darius Dinesh.
Yeah.
It sent my hormone levels through the roof, and last night I woke my husband up at 4 a.m. for sex. We've been married for 20 years and he can't believe his luck. Recently I've been having...
I wanna go to I'll stop you there. Why are you telling me? Right, carry on, sorry.
Recently, I've been having erotic thoughts about Darius morning, noon and night.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like this since I was a teenager and mad about Donny Osmond. My husband is amazed at the change in me. We had sex twice last night and again this morning.
Again, why are you telling me this? Yeah, go on.
He's just boasting. This is not a problem. It's not a problem.
What's
here.
the problem? No problem, just wanted to tell someone. Thanks very much.
I watched Darius on TV last night, and when my husband came home, I dragged him into the kitchen and we made mad, passionate love. Right, they did it then, twice last night, once this morning. That's 4 times. 5 times she's mentioned it so far.
Yeah.
She's doing all right. My husband, this is a great bit. My husband thinks it might be his new moustache. Or that I'm going through the menopause. But I
You were
know
thinking
different.
of growing a moustache?
I was
Do you
thinking
think
of
it would
growing a
change your
tash.
luck with the ladies?
I love the idea that's what he thinks it is. He's telling his mates in the pub.
You
should
should go
grow
mad
with
for me.
these.
Grow
The
with
old
these,
Tom
right?
Selleck.
5 times in the last 24 hours.
Hooray for sexy Darius. So, what do you make of that then? What are your views on that?
Hold on though, if that bloke is reading that paper, that narrows it down
It's
a
gotta
bit.
be, yeah.
Who else did he know? His wife likes Darius, he's had sex 5 times that night, and he grew a new moustache. He's thinking, I wonder if that's me.
Maureen.
Yeah, go on.
But what's your concern? Because I'll tell you what her problem is. She's worried that, the reason that she's now kind of overly excited and she's having this great sex with her husband is because she's actually fantasising about someone completely different, younger. She's having these wayward thoughts, isn't she? She's a bit concerned about that. What's your concern? What are your thoughts?
I reckon she's going to start shoplifting soon and coming out in hot flushes. Go on.
Just, they're both happy, aren't they? He's getting what he wants. She's happy. I'd say, yeah, whatever, get on with it.
Do you think that she should confess? She wants to be honest with him.
I wouldn't, because not that many fellas like Darius.
Right.
So if you're sort of thinking, oh, she'd rather have him than me, I don't
What do you
it's
think
gonna
Darius would think of this?
work. He'd probably be happy with that. I mean,
What
if
would you
it
do
said
if
in
you
there,
What would you do if you got loads of phone calls, right, from women going, Carl, whenever you're on the radio, I just have to do it. I just have to do it. Your voice makes me.
I'd say, right, well, it's all right. I'd be happy with that.
Would you?
Yeah. I mean, just in case anyone is doing that.
What would you do to sort of like egg them on a little bit to help them out? What do you think?
What sexy things would you say?
What do you think is your quality? What do you think people would find, you know, pretty horny about you? Is it your sort of mank wine? Do you think that? Just say this, London shit, innit?
I think say that, but you know, London, it's not that good, is it? Like
oh, I think you've done it there.
So
that's
say something quite sort of sexy though. Say something like, you know,
well,
I love to love you.
Say something sexy.
Say that.
No,
you
say
know,
something sexy.
Suze answers to me, you know, do you love me? I go, yeah, you're all right. Job done. But
I know the thing is, I know that's true.
Yeah.
I know that's true. That's brilliant.
But because one of the things that Deirdre says is that she's wondering if this marriage is going a little bit stale and needs to be freshened up. They need to give a new spice, a new spin to the marriage. What would you do? What advice would you give to spice up, you know, something that they've been married for quite some time?
I think get Darius, all Darius things, get David Snedden's new video on the telly.
What do you reckon though, Carl?
Just treat them. Do you know what I mean? Just surprise them now and again with stuff. That's what I do.
It's what you got those condoms, didn't you, that you got two for
So,
one
hang on, what, you've never done that? What, you've surprised Suzanne with what?
You know, I've like,
you stood behind a door and shouted at her when she comes in.
Don't drop the jelly!
Yeah, you know, just the usual stuff. There was some free chocolate delivered to work the other day. I took her a bit of that home.
Nice of you, that's really thoughtful.
She didn't like dark chocolate, but I said, well, it's a thought. So, I had it. But,
you know you often benefit from any gift that you give her. The chocolate, the meal, the condoms. There's always something in it for you.
Yeah, there is. I love the idea.
She's got bored with a Christmas present now, though.
What, the condoms?
Yeah.
Or the food that she ate.
No, the condoms.
Right.
Yeah, she's got tired of filling them with water, throwing them at the passing kids, or putting them on her head and inflating them.
I love the idea of asking problems. What do you think of erectile problems? You know that Pele advert? He goes, "Be careful, we haven't got erectile problems. Call this number." What would you do if you're impotent? What would you do?
What's the advertising?
It's just saying, like, you know, if you can't, you know.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Why have they got him doing it?
Well,
he used to, you know, he used to be able to keep it up for hours. The ball, and
yeah. What would you do if you
to advertise that?
No, if you suddenly couldn't get, you know, what would you do?
I don't think it bothered me now.
I know you're 30.
What's wrong with you? You're talking like you're an 80-year-old.
No, but do you know what I mean? You sort of been there, done that now. It's like the boxing and the dancing that I did. It was good as a kid, and now it's like, take it or leave it.
You need to write to Deirdre.
Supergrass, Seen the Light, XFM 104.9. We're a little bit worried. We might have a technical hitch here. We've had no emails, and usually we get loads and loads. So we're worried it's us. Can someone send an email?
Yeah, just a test email.
Yeah, but we won't know if they have or not. They might just be ignoring us. No one might be listening, Steve, so this isn't proof.
I guarantee there's at least one person who would send an email. Maybe if Dickie Anderson's listening, he could do it for us.
Anders!
Do
us a favour for all the pleasure we've given you over the last few years.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
If you haven't heard the Rockbusters, might as well give them out.
Well, let's check the emails working before we do it.
Yeah, otherwise it's a complete... This whole show has been a sham and a farce and a waste of time.
Well, I think they can take that as read.
Right, educate me, Carl.
Right, well,
Go on, then. Educate me.
Well, what we're looking at this week, we've done war, we've done
we've nailed that. We've nailed war. We summed up war with a little French bloke whose battle cry was "John's got a moustache."
Right. So, and last week we did science.
What would you